Welcome back, everybody. I've got another kind of exciting video for you today. I'm doing a bow build on my Hoyt RX-7 Ultra that I finally got. It's the 70-pound model. Got it right here in the box. I've actually already had it out. I had to look at it before I did the video, but it's wilderness green, and I'm going to go over it a little bit on some of the things that they've changed for this year. Get this set up here. They went with a more inline, less tubular look, and they've added this Picatinny rail to the front of it. I do not have the Picatinny sight, but they've added that, and they have a new whole line of sights that you can get for that from Hoyt, and I can't remember who actually makes them. But like I said, this is the Hoyt RX-7 Ultra. It's a 34-inch axle to axle. I believe it's a 7-inch brace height. You can get them from 40 to 80 pounds. This is a 70-pound model. The draw length on them is super adjustable. This one says 27 to 32 inch draw length, so it's got a pretty wide range. It'll fit a lot of people. I'm gonna get this bow built for you. I got a couple special parts I'm using for it. I've got the Ultraview UV3 XL double pin scope, sight scope. I've got the integrated Hoyt rest by QAD. It's the QAD Ultra Rest Integrated MX. It bolts straight to the riser. There's a rail piece here on the back that it bolts straight to. And then here's the sight scope. It's the UV3 XL double pin with the Spot Hogg fast steady sight bar and attachment. And also I'm going to be using the Hamskea 3/16 Raptor Peep sight. So stick with me. I'm going to get this thing loaded in the bow press and we'll get to building it. Alright guys, I've got everything set up. The press that I'm using is the Easy Green bow press by Last Chance Archery. Does everything I need it to do, which actually my sticker is a little screwed up right here, but does everything I need it to do. I can get my bow in it real quick. I can work on things as I need to. YouTube has helped me a lot. I get on there, D-loops, tying in your rest, just all kinds of things that helps to learn how to do all this archery stuff. But one thing I wanted to add is you get the owner's manual in the box, and you also get this sweet set of stickers that you can, put on your bow case, put on your refrigerator, anything you want to, your truck, car, whatever. But I thought they were pretty awesome that they include this whole sheet of stickers. Alright guys, first thing I'm going to start off with is the rest. A couple other things I wanted to add. The RX-7 Ultra, it comes in at 4.3 pounds and has a 334 feet per second rating. So this thing's gonna fling some arrows pretty fast. I'm gonna have an arrow build video too. I'm doing a heavy arrow setup this year, something I've never done before. So make sure you tune in to our channel, subscribe, like it. That way you can follow along and know when I'm posting new videos about bow builds, all kinds of hunting, DIYs, things like that. So the QAD integrated rest is pretty sweet. It comes with it's got a like a locking rail right here that goes straight to the rail on the bow. So there's no guesswork or anything. It's just lined up straight out of the box, and right when you put on the bow, it comes with tools. So if you don't have any tools handy, you get it new. It's got tools in there for you. So first thing you got to do is you got to take this outside cover off. That's got your adjustment tick marks on it. But you're going to undo this. And we'll set it right there. Try to keep all this so you guys can see it. And then you've got this little guy. It's actually going to go on this rail right here. So use the smallest Allen wrench here. You got to open it up like so. And it's going to go directly on this rail. And on this rail there's a tick mark. You may not be able to see it. Yeah, you can. There's a tick mark right there, and there's an arrow on the rest. All you got to do is line that up, and it's exactly where it needs to be. So we'll take this, I got lined up, and we'll tighten it down. So that's the first step. See, it's already really sturdy. So the second step is to take your cover with your adjustment marks on it, and you're gonna take it and it goes right over top of what you just did. As long as I don't drop it. So you're gonna take that, get it started, and you're gonna get it tightened down. Give it a little more. Yeah, just be careful when you're tightening these up, because you definitely don't want to strip something out like that, because you're going to be out some money and you're going to have to go to the bow shop or get online and order you a new one. So we're going to tie this in here in just a little while, but that's pretty much it. That's all it takes to get the sight put on the bow. You got lined up, you've got that lined up, and it's set directly on 0. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is install the Peep sight. I've got a Hamskea Raptor 3/16 Peep sight. You can see it there. Pretty nice Peep sights. They've got they're actually a metal construction, and they have what they call light baffling technology in them. It helps keep the sunlight out of your face when or out of your eye when you're shooting towards the sun, or if you've got like indirect light shining at you. So pretty much all new bows, I assume, come with this string in the middle of it, so you don't have to sit there and count strands to know where center is on your string. So I'm gonna press this a little bit, get this string worked loose, and I'm gonna take this, and for now, until I get my D-loop on, all you do is you're gonna spread your string. I'm gonna slide that up. I keep it in there, so if I ever need to adjust anything or move anything, I know exactly where my Peep sight needs to go. That way I don't have to go through and count strands again. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna open it up, take your Peep sight, and you're gonna slide it in. Never wanna shoot your bow without your Peep sight tied in. But for now, I'm gonna guess at where this needs to go, and then we can adjust it later. So there it is. I'm gonna take a little pressure off this so my string tightens back up. Obviously you don't want to loosen it so much your bow falls out. I'm gonna put my hand under it to make sure, but that right there is it. That's my Peep sight. I already got it in there. Once we get the D-loop on and get all that set, I'll be able to adjust this, give it a quick tie in, and make sure it's where I need it to be. All right guys, now we're going to do the D-loop, knock point, all that good stuff. So what I'm actually using here, it's actually a bicycle mount. It's a tabletop bicycle mount, but it works great for working on bows too, because it'll grab on the grip, and you can actually take it, if I loosen this up, you can take and you can rotate it flat, you can do it upside down, straight up, however you want to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this bow level and get it leveled up, and then we're going to cinch it down so it can't move on us. So about right there looks pretty good. Double check it once I get this tight. Make sure we're good. See, it moved on us when I tightened it up, so make sure it's level at all times. Not too far. Okay, so we're good right there. So next, if you look here, you can see that we're at the 0 mark on there, so we know our rest is in the right spot. And all you got to do is take your arrow, and we're going to get it leveled up on there as well. So we're going to take that level, squeeze it on the end there. See, we're a little high, and actually these rests have a little bit of travel, so when they're at full draw they actually go up just a touch. So now we're actually low, so we want to take this and we want to get it right where it needs to be. So right there is perfectly level, so when I raise that up, this level over here is perfect. So as long as your bow's level, your rest is level, your arrow's level, you're good to go. So I'm going to take some Flow Orange serving material, and I'm gonna tie in a knock point on this, so that way we know where to put our D-loop. I just tie some just regular, I don't know if they're called square knots, overhand knot, whatever it is, but I do them on the front and then the back and then the front and then the back. Maybe overkill, but I just want to make sure it's not going anywhere. You gotta make sure you get them good and tight. So in this one, we'll finish on the back side. I'm actually gonna do a double loop on this one. So we're gonna run it through twice. Give it a good tug. Get my fingers on it. It don't slip. There's that. Let's make sure we're still level, and we are. So we can take this and get it cut off. Cut off the excess. Just make sure you don't get into your string, into your bowstring. And take that, and then take a lighter, and you're going to take that and you're going to melt them down. Melt it down there. Here we are, perfectly level. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to rotate it, get this swung around here so you guys can still see it. So I can take this off, string level off, because that don't really matter now. Make sure that's on there good. We're going to get another piece of serving material. Get it cut off there. And we're going to tie one on the top side. What you want to do is you want to move your top one up like a 1/16 of an inch or so, because you want just a little bit of play in that. That way you don't get any knock pinch when you draw back, because when you draw back, it's putting it angles the string, so instead of it being, I don't know how to do it, flat, it pinches it as it draws back, and you don't want it to pinch your arrow or pinch your knock. So I'm going to get this tied in too. Go below, above, and back. We'll do this one twice. Make sure it's good and tight. We're going to take and trim this off, just like we did the bottom side. Throw that out of the way. Get our lighter. Pull this arrow out of the way. Take that. Get the other side. Exact same thing. So now when we do our D-loop is going to be on either side of these knock points. Alright guys, so the next step is we're going to put the D-loop on. I got some flow orange D-loop material here. And say not to let that catch on fire because it weakens it. I don't know that it actually does, but that's what I've always seen. But you want to melt that, get a good little mushroom on the end of it. We're going to take this, I'm going to loop it through, over. We want it to tighten up on this little mushroom right here. So there's that side. Got a little mushroom down there. Now, when you tie in a D-loop, you want your knots on opposite sides. That way it doesn't want to twist your string the opposite way. So we're going to take this, loop it around, back up, and through here. So right here is where you're going to set your length of your D-loop. Some people like them long, some people like them short. I'm going to be using a hinge release at the start of this year, so I'm kind of want it to be a little bit longer than normal, so I'm going to let a little bit back out. So there's that. Get this pulled tight. And I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut it about an 1/8 inch sticking out. Because then we're going to take our lighter again, we'll get that flared out, and we're going to mushroom it down. Good little mushroom on that. You don't want it to slide back through your string. And then I'm going to grab my pliers here that I use for my D-loops. Give it a good pull, a good stretch, make sure everything's good and tight. And there you go, there's our D-loop. All right guys, so I've got the bow back in the bow press. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna loosen this up, and I'm actually gonna change the string out on this to a flow orange string. If I can get my Allen wrench in there. I'm gonna take this, take it out of there. Just use the supplied Allen wrench, and you can undo this Allen screw from the back. Takes a minute to get it loose. Just if I flip that up, I can get it a little easier. So, took that out. Now I'm going to take my flow orange here, and I'm going to measure it, and I'm going to run it the exact same length as the factory one. I'll take that there. Might actually make it a little longer, just in case. You never know. Just sharpen my knife there. It's a little dull. All right, so we're going to throw that down. I need to open this up a little bit more. But we don't want it to fall out. So we're going to take that, run it back through, get it coming out of the back side. We're going to cinch that back down. You can always adjust that later. Get it cinched down, and we're good. So we're going to install this in a down cable. You don't want to install it in an up cable. It'll just be pulling against itself. So what you do, you just split your string as close to center as possible. And you're going to take that and you're going to run it through. I'm going to go ahead and leave a little bit of slop in that. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need, but what I'm going to have to do is take this back out of the bow press. Raise it up there. Take his camera, point it up at me. One thing that's easiest to do for me is I'll take this, I can pull it back through a little bit, and you draw your bow back. Make sure everything's where it's supposed to be before I go to do it. You're gonna take and you're gonna pull that back until it pulls the slack out. And then you're just gonna let it back down, and that's essentially where that needs to be at. Take our bow back in the bow press. Can't talk. We're gonna cinch this back up. What I'm gonna do is take my knife. I'm gonna cut off the excess here. Leave that where it needs to be. Take my lighter, whatever I did with it, there it is. We're gonna mushroom that off the back of it so it can't slide or go anywhere. Because we do not want that to come out of there. There we go. So there's that. That should be good. And then if we need to fine tune it a little bit, we can come up here and change this however we need to. If we need to adjust it, we can go right here, loosen that string up, and we can move it back and forth to fix the timing a little better. I got it back in the bow clamp, bow bias, whatever it's called. But we're gonna get our Spot Hogg with our UV3 XL sight mounted. So I've got my screws up here. Pretty simple to install. We'll try to stand on this side so you guys can see everything that's going on. All it has is, it's got 4 holes. These 2 are for your quiver. These 2 are to mount it to the bow itself. So literally all you do, get that one started. I'm using old screws. I don't have any new ones either. I've seen a little bit of outside, little rain, a little bit of things like that. So I'm gonna get my Allen wrench. A little bit of weather. Oh, wrong one. Let's see here. Let's grab this here. And we're gonna take that. Still the wrong one. Let's see, here ought to be it. Yep, then you're basically just gonna take that and you're gonna get it snugged up on there. Turn a little bit. You do not want to strip these out. If you strip these out on this bow, it's going to have to go back to Hoyt to get fixed. So see this here, you got to get that tight too. So that's your adjustment in and out. So see, I can take that and it's got little dimples and I can move that in and out. So I'm going to leave it probably on that 4th one there. That's subject to change as I shoot, once I get everything dialed in the way I want it. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna get it nice and snug. That's gonna keep that nice and sturdy inside the slide. So that's pretty much it for putting that together. So now I'm gonna grab my quiver. I've got a Tight Spot. This is the one I used all last year on my VXR, but got my Tight Spot quiver. It's gonna mount in these 2 slots here. So what I'm gonna have to do to get all this to fit in the frame and miss my bow press is to turn it up like this. Angle that down. I'll have to move this over just a little bit. So for this to go on, it's kind of the same deal. Get this moved back a little bit. I've got 2 screws. They're gonna go through this slot right here. On the other side so I can see what I'm doing. Don't drop them. You're gonna take that and you're gonna line it up right there. Grab my other one. And this is fully adjustable. You can kind of set it wherever you want inside them grooves. So if you need it closer, farther away, whatever you need it, you can fully adjust it back and forth. I'm gonna set it right in the middle on mine for now. I got the right size. That one snug, and there's that one snug. So that's it. It's pretty simple, and that actually has a quick detach on it. So say you get up in your stand, a lot of guys like to hunt without their quiver on. You can take that, you pull that lever, quick detach, and you can reattach it just as quick. So you can kind of set your depth on that too, how close you want it to your riser, how close you want it to your strings. So that's pretty much it on that part. All right guys, next step of this is I'm gonna do the D-loop, get it tied in. Get a bunch of serving material, again with the flow orange. right here. Way I start off is I take this, I'm gonna wrap it around, and I just do some regular knots just to tie in, or get the initial tie in. I've already adjusted my height. I drew it back a couple times and got it moved where I needed it to be. So you're gonna do the same thing under here. Actually, I'm gonna take off my quiver and get it out of the way as well. That way it's easier to see. So you're just gonna take this, do the same thing, if I can figure it out. And we'll do one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the top. That, get it nice and tight where I want it, and then I'm going to do one more on top of that. Just get it good and locked in. And this other side pulled nice and tight. So then what I do with my knife, then you're going to take this, cut it off. I'll do the same thing on this side, get it cut off, and then I'm going to take my lighter, just here, and we'll burn them down on each side. So there's that part. And I'm going to get some more cerumen material. I'll get quite a bit this time, so I can tie in the top and tie in the bottom. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, especially like Chris B and things like that. So I try to learn when I can. So this, you're gonna take, slide up through there, tag in, it's gonna run down. You're just gonna take this and you're gonna wrap it. You're gonna wanna stack them. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it back towards the peep sight. So we want it to be nice and tight. We're gonna get it in there as tight as we can, keep pressure on it. Make sure that's running back, and we're gonna keep twisting. And we've got up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get all that pushed back. So there's 12 of those. Let's go 2 more, 13, 14. Okay, once you get to this point, you can actually you can trim this end off. Find my knife here. There's that. Throw it out of the way, set my knife down, and then you're gonna keep burying it. You're basically just tying that in there, burying it underneath your wraps. Okay, so once you get to this point, you're gonna take that and you're gonna pull, you're gonna leave you a loop like that. So then you're gonna keep wrapping backwards. So and get my loop there, lay the right way. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then you're going to lay this across what you just done, and you're going to bury that below what you just did. So as you do one side, it's unwrapping the other. You're basically going to keep wrapping this up. And once you get it where you like it and get all the wraps back out of it, so see I'm left with this here. It's buried. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna pull this back through, and I'm gonna cinch it down as best I can to make sure it's good and tight. And then I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna trim that off. And then take my lighter and I'm gonna tie that back up. So there's the bottom. So now we just need to do the same thing on the top. So we're gonna take this, running from the bottom to the top. Slide that up in there. We're just gonna wrap. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna take that, start sliding it down. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, cinch it down, 12, 13, 14, I think I did 14 on the other one. Go 15, 16, 17, 18. So we've got 18, make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, so we'll take this, make sure it stays tight. We'll take that. Cut it off. Just don't cut into your strings, better if you can cut away. We'll do a few more wraps, make sure that's nice and buried. Okay, so we're going to take our loop over, back under. It's a big loop here, and we're going to do probably 6 or 8 wraps here. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now that we have that, you lay it across, get this pulled down tight. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually got 1 extra. So we got 9 there. Trying to get my finger in this loop. There's that. Then you're gonna pull this until it gets tight. And you're gonna cinch it down, if I can get a hold of it. You're gonna cinch it down as best you can. I'm moving my table, pulling on it so hard. So then you just take that, you're gonna cut it back, throw the excess away. I'll take my lighter. And I'm gonna melt it down. There you have it, there's Peep sight. Tied in. There's a million different ways to do this. I just get on YouTube and I find one I like and then I just mimic it. So there's that, it's tied in. It ain't gonna slide up, it ain't gonna slide down. All right guys, there you have it. There's a complete bow build. Got the Ultraview rest, Tight Spot Quiver. Forgot what I was talking about there for a minute. We got the Ultraview UV3 XL double 10 sight. And we've got the Spot Hogg Fast Eddy sight bar. So I'm gonna get me a paper tuner built. I'm gonna have another video on paper tuning. I'm gonna have another video on doing some arrow builds, and because I'm going with a heavy arrow setup this year. So thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe and like our page to keep up with what all we're doing.